This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good evening, everyone. Let's call the Real Estate and Community Development Committee meeting to order. Um, do we have a quorum? Not presently, or we do? Oh,
We do have a quorum with Commissioner Johnson attending virtually.
okay, fantastic.
Proceed, and we can vote the other members in if the committee would like.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then, Mr. Parker, if we could just
Yes.
have where you're located and your reason for your absence this evening, so we can move to have you join us this evening.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner. I'm at home. I've suffering with COVID, and hopefully I'll be out of this situation by Friday. But that's according to the doctor. But yeah, that's where I am. I'm at home.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Please feel better. I'm glad you could join us this evening, but
Thank you.
make sure you're resting up and doing everything you need to do.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion? Do we have to? Is there anyone else online, other commissioners online wishing to join? We don't have to move. Mhm. Okay. I'll have a Can I have a motion to have Commissioner Parker? Oh,
So
Commissioner
move.
Jackson, are you on the line?
So move, Commissioner Elliott.
Uh, sorry. I'm sorry. I think we have one more. Commissioner Jackson, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line. I had not planned to vote this evening, so
Okay. You're just going to be observing.
yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Can I have a motion to have Commissioner Parker join us virtually, please?
So move, Commissioner Elliott.
Go ahead, Commissioner Johnson.
You want to second it, Ms. Pitcher?
Second. So moved.
Commissioner Johnson, motion, proper second by Pitchford. Do a roll call vote. Commissioner Elliott,
Aye.
Commissioner Pitchford,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Commissioner Parker can attend virtually.
Fantastic. Commissioner Parker, it's your meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Elliott. I appreciate you doing that. Good evening to everybody, and thank you for your presence this afternoon. And like I said, in particular, I want to thank Commissioner Elliott for being there and sitting in and doing this for me, because I just, if it were possible, I would be there. That's for sure. I want to thank all the commissioners also that are maybe virtual or either in present that I don't see or haven't seen there. But I want to thank you for your support, especially of the your real estate committee, because I think that's one of the business committees that we have. Not saying that it's one of the most important committees that we have, because all of the committees are important, and all the committees, you have to realize all of them have purpose, or they would not exist. I trust we use our time wisely and show up at these meetings, and because the staff has done a wonderful job of preparing information for us and trying to move the agenda forward. And a lot of times they can't move the agenda forward sometimes if we're not there to maybe vote on resolutions or give our opinions as commissioners, or direction as commissioners. But if we choose to stay behind or not show up or something like that, we're just doing the organization a disservice. So I would just ask that you would really try to, through all possible means, be able to be at the meetings. That's what they elected us for, or put us in a position for, and that's what they want us to do is be at these meetings and do the will of the body and have direction here. So those are my comments going forward. And at this point in time, we have a quorum. We can do the minutes. Can we establish the minutes? Can we approve them at this time, Patrick?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Parker, we can. And before I entertain a motion, the Senior Vice President, Ms. Hampton, has identified there's a couple of amendments that need to be made to the minutes before they're approved. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Hampton to let the board know.
Yes, Attorney Bicey, thank you so
Hmm.
much. If we would turn to I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Attorney Bicey. If we will turn to page 2, and we're looking at the section on real estate departmental updates. On the second bullet, it says Creighton Court Purcell Phase 8. That should be Purcell Phase A. A like the letter? A as in apple. Yes, ma'am. And the third bullet, it says their packet, and it should read their CUP application. So the second bullet, Purcell Phase A instead of 8. And the third bullet, packet, it should be CUP application.
Thank you, Ms. Hampton.
Thank you.
So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the January 13th, 2026 meeting minutes as amended. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second it.
You do roll call
Second.
vote. Thank you, Commissioner Parker. We'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Parker,
Yes.
Commissioner Elliott,
Aye.
Commissioner Pitchford, Commissioner Johnson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Minutes are approved.
Okay, Patrick, where are we now on the agenda?
Commissioner Parker, we're at the Roman numeral 4 citizens comment period.
Okay, are there any citizens there for comments today, Ms. Logan?
Yes, sir. We have a Tashina Beavers who has signed up to speak.
Okay, well, would she come forward now then and make her case? Thank you so much, please.
Miss Tashina Beavers, if you're online. I don't believe Miss Beavers is joining us.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to move forward then, and maybe if she joins at another point, we will have her. But what are we going now to, Steve? To your comments, updates, Mr. CEO.
Yes, thank you,
Okay, thank
Chair
you.
Parker.
Thank you.
So I'm going to turn most of the presentation of Gilpin and more specifically the meeting that we had last week, which I thought was very positive. I'm going to turn it over to Sherelle, our developer, who is joining us. But I want to just say, zoom out for a moment and say that I want to be on the record to applaud not only the Gilpin Forum residents, but other activist groups that were at our meeting at Mount Monroe Baptist Church. It was no yelling, it was no derogatory, it was a very positive back and forth Q&A. We took questions. It was really a positive way to have a community meeting. Wherever there was a disagreement, we said, okay, and we moved forward. I think there was a lot of agreement because of one thing. One thing that came out of that meeting is that many people may have different ways to get to the end goal, but the end goal is the same. And so I hope we have many more meetings just like that. And so I'm going to turn it over now to Miss Senior Vice President Sherelle Parker. Senior Vice President Hampton. I called you Parker, didn't I? That's right. I didn't think you changed your last name. Sherelle Hampton.
Thank you, Mr. Nesmith. If you really want to know, my married last name is McKeithen. Thank you so
Excuse me,
much.
Stephen. Stephen,
Yes, sir.
is Sherelle speaking in the speaker? Because I can't hear her as well as I hear you. Or something wrong with her speaker, her mic?
Pull it closer. Pull it closer.
Can you hear me now, Commissioner Parker, Chair Parker?
A little bit better, yeah, but
Put it to the right. Put it to the right of you. Get closer. the placement of it.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me now, Chair Parker?
I can hear you a lot better. Yes, thank you so much, Ms.
Thank you so
Hampton.
much.
Please,
We
please
swap
go
back.
ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm very pleased this evening to start with and have our presentation from our developer, Mr. Josh Collins. This is the presentation that was shared with residents and the historic Jackson Ward community. We had several of our CNI partners in attendance as well. So I certainly thank them and all of those individuals that attended, including our media and our advocates. Mr. Collins is with Historic Restoration Incorporated Communities. So Josh, I recognize you and Miss Demetria Williams to present, and we have the PowerPoint up on the screen, and each commissioner also has it individually in their packets, and you just let us know when you want to change the slide. Turn it over to you now, Mr. Collins.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hampton, Mr. Nesmith, and Commissioner Parker. It's a pleasure to be with you all. How is my volume? Can you guys all hear me?
Yes, yours is fine. I hear you well.
Great, very good. And I assume I could just say next page when it's time to flip. But this is the presentation that we gave to the community on last Thursday. I was very like Mr. Nesmith, I was very happy with how that engagement went. We took a lot of time preparing for it, and I think that time paid off. Next slide, please. We covered a detailed overview of this Build First project. We made it very clear to the community that the meeting was to focus on just this one block, which is actually directly catty-corner from the greater Mount Moriah Baptist Church where we met. And we wanted to make sure that folks knew that this was not the only time we would be talking about this one block, that this was going to be a reoccurring meeting that we would engage, keep people informed, let them know what we were doing, and be able to show them that their input is being incorporated. Next slide. Mr. Nesmith was correct that burying the lead, I think is what it's called, is never a good idea, and had us move this language from further back in the presentation to front and center. We wanted to make it crystal clear that this first off-site Build First development would not displace anybody or cause any negative relocation to get it going. That was well received. We also made it very clear that this development would provide housing for Gilpin Court residents to move into before any redevelopment activities occurred on the footprint of Gilpin itself. That was well received. And then we made it clear that this is very much a prove it phase for us, HRI communities and RRHA, to the community. And I also view it as a prove ourselves phase for us to the board and to the city and to all of our partners. So we know we'll be judged by how we perform on this phase. Next slide. We next provided a development team overview. Next slide, please. We made it clear that while the City of Richmond and Virginia Housing are key partners and participants, this was very much the development team assembled to develop this property. RRHA and HRI communities are partners. We are in the development and ownership role together. We competitively procured KBS to be our design build construction partner, and they are hiring the design team under them So they are a single point of design build construction. That design build team includes an HRI affiliate, HCI Architecture, who, like us, is based here in New Orleans, but works around the country and is licensed in Richmond. A local civil engineering firm that is most certainly best in class and familiar to you all with the Timmons Group. A structural engineer, Cates Engineering, and the MEP Group, LU&S Engineers, pointing out that KBS and the civil team are the team working in Creighton right now together. Next slide. Brief overview on us. As I said, we are based in New Orleans, but we work around the country. HRI stands for Historic Restoration Incorporated. We have a unique expertise in large-scale adaptive reuse in historic buildings, much like what's pictured on the screen there. Our first project in Richmond a couple of decades ago, the Mill and Rhodes Department Store. But we also specialize in new construction in very historic neighborhoods and doing it in a way that's sensitive to historic contexts and to stakeholders. And so that's very much what we find ourselves in with this Build First. We understand that Jackson Ward is one of the most historic neighborhoods in the country. And so we know that how we do things need to be very sensitive and contextually appropriate. Obviously, we've done a lot of development work with 74 completed apartment communities and over $2 billion worth of total investments on those properties. Next slide, please. KBS, again, a 50-year history, Richmond-based. They're, like I said, actively doing Creighton Court right now. The president of the company, Will Paulette, was in attendance on Thursday, which I thought was a very good sign of dedication. And they've done over 30 apartment developments, construction in the city of Richmond in the last 5 years alone, nearly 4,900 apartment units. Next slide. And then, like I said, our architecture company, best at class at this. The president of that company was also in attendance at the community meeting Thursday night. We printed up some boards that we use to engage with residents at the front of the various design concepts that I'll show you. Please continue. Next slide. We then provided a project overview. Next slide, please. In summary, the site is bounded by First Street, Federal Street, St. James, and East Charity. It is a almost entirely vacant block, and we were developing all but one tiny little corner parcel on property that is currently owned by RRHA. It includes 56 mixed income apartments in 2 3-story buildings. One of those buildings will face First Street, and the other building will face St. James Street. Both buildings will be green energy efficient buildings, which translates to lower utility costs for our residents. They will have a community room, a fitness center, off-street parking, as well as a important public art concept that we think is a great place for public input. Next slide. We wanted to dive deep into affordable housing levels. When we talk about mixed income, that can mean a lot of different things. We wanted to get very specific and granular with the community. First, there will be deeply affordable housing with operating subsidy. That means that 14 of the units will be project-based voucher units. That translates to something residents are very familiar with at Gilpin, where they pay no more than 30% of their income to rent and utilities. We also have workforce and affordable housing that has income and rent restrictions, but that do not have an operating subsidy attached to them. We'll have 6 units below 30% of the area median income, 25 units in the 50 to 60% area median income maxes, and 11 units that are below 80% of the area median income, but those rents translate to more or less what a market rate rent is in this area downtown today. 11 of the 56 apartments are 1 bedrooms, 34 are 2 bedrooms, and 11 are 3 bedroom apartments. If you go to the next slide, we made a point of saying, hey, everybody can talk area median income and these percentages, but not everyone understands the developer jargon mouth, as I call it. So we wanted to put what those rent levels, what those area median income levels translate to in jobs in Richmond. So this was data that we were able to achieve, recent data on what different types of workers earn in the area and translate that to area median income. And so this was, I think, a very well received slide. And obviously you can see it represents a diverse range of income levels and employment levels. Next slide. Obviously, everyone was very curious on the timeline. The great news about this Build First is that we have the tax credits. We have a 9% tax credit reservation from Virginia Housing. These are extremely difficult to get. It is very, very competitive. About 10 projects across the state receive 9% reservations a year, and we were fortunate to get it on our first try. I won't say we were lucky because Demetria Dima Williams on the line did the application. So if you can't be lucky, just have Dima work for you. That's my secret to success. So anyway, with that tax credit in hand, reservation in hand, there is a ticking clock. We need to associate with this clock, close hopefully this year, but no later than early next year to preserve these tax credits. So this year, 2026, is all about the pre-development work, the work you need to do to get under construction. I made a point to say that starts with ongoing community engagement and input, which started Thursday night, but doesn't end Thursday night. We need to advance the designs and the estimating with our friends at KBS and their design team. We need to go into the city to get the approvals and permits. And then we need to close on the project financing. And that's what we are seeking to do this year and try to get this project's financing closed this year. That's what 2026 is about. 2027 is about construction, and not just moving dirt and pouring concrete and erecting the building. This has to do also with Section 3 employment, Section 3 contracting, training, DBE contracting, and all of the reporting that comes with that. KBS has a deep understanding of what it takes. And we always say on the contracting side, we can't just leave it to them. We, and I include RRHA in that, we need to set them up for success by helping them network and giving them the resources they need to meet and exceed the goals related to employment, contracting, training, etc. And then 2028 is when the building will be completed. Assuming that we can get started in early 27, it would be the spring of 2028. And then we get into the good business of getting a certificate of occupancy, leasing up in concert with RRHA so we can ensure Gilpin residents have the opportunity to move into these units, most specifically the project-based voucher units, but other units as well. And then begin the long-term operations, which will be handled by our affiliate, HRI Management. Next slide. This is the site plan. As you can see, First Street is on the bottom of the screen. We have one building facing that. St. James Street is on the top of the screen, one building facing that. Every unit on the ground floor, both of these buildings will have an individual entrance directly off the street, which works great since we positioned all of the 3 bedrooms on the ground floor. So they get to enjoy what's just like a townhouse or single family house. So larger families with kids have that experience and don't have to use the elevator, et cetera, to access their apartments. We have a secure parking in the center of the site with 43 spaces. And we will have lots of great landscaping, site amenities. And then what we're planning for is a mural wall. We think a mural would be a great way to celebrate what the residents and community wants to celebrate, whether that's the history of Jackson Ward or some other subject. We are very open as long as it's a positive message to using art to radiate momentum and positivity. Next slide. I'll point out that all the pictures you are going to see are examples from other recent HRI projects. These doesn't mean this is what this is going to look like or what it should look like. It's just what it could look like and give examples of things we've done recently. So the first picture is of a secure parking lot. Down below are some landscaping elements. Next slide. These are examples of some recent community murals we've done. The top one was done by a magnet school here, public magnet school here in New Orleans with young art students at the high school level, working with the community to come up with a neighborhood joy was the theme of that. And the bottom one is in Lafayette, Louisiana, and the community chose to celebrate Cajun food since this was a entrance gateway into the city. Next slide. And then building A, that's the building that faces First Street again. This is its ground floor, which has a community room, a leasing office, the fitness center. You can see the units with their own entrances, as well as a lobby with an elevator that takes you up to the upper floors. I'll point out that every apartment in every building includes either a covered front porch, like these ground floor apartments, or a balcony. So we do have private exterior space for every family that will be moving in. The bottom image is of a fitness center, much comparable to the size we're building here, as well as a community room comparable to the size we're building here. And we made it clear that all those amenities are free of charge and for the residents. Next slide. This is the second building, its ground floor fronting St. James Street. This building has a bike storage space in it, much like that image. And that also, we also showed an image of the way we tend to provide furniture for a ground floor lobby, a nice seating area, whether someone's waiting for a delivery or getting an Uber or greeting a guest. That's the way we have those set up. And very much, as you can see, individual entrances to those units and a lobby with an elevator that will take you up to the upper floors. Next slide. These are the floor plans for both of those buildings on both the second and third floor. Here you can see there's a common corridor, stairwells on each end. Those are enclosed stairwells, none of this exterior walk-up stairwell stuff, and an elevator lobby. We have our 1 and 2 bedroom apartments on these floors, and obviously you'll note the balconies on every apartment. Next slide. We then started talking about individual unit layouts, the 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. We pointed out that our 2 bedrooms have 2 full baths and our 3 bedrooms have 2.5 baths. none of this 2-bedroom, 1-bath noise. We don't believe in that. The images below show typical kitchens that we've been building recently, and you can note the quality of those. Next slide. More images. You have living area and bedroom. We make sure we have at least 1 bedroom in every apartment that'll fit a full king-size bed and all the bedroom furniture that would be typical. And we put a premium on making sure there's really good storage space in all of our units as well. Next slide. Typical bathroom, washer dryer in every apartment. All the appliances are provided for the residents and maintained by us as well. So we supply all appliances, which are all energy efficient as well. Next slide. These are typical building elevations that we've done recently in the images below. If you note, the building elevation that we showed to the community as part of this presentation is more of a hand-drawn sketch. That is by design. We are looking to get input on the building elevations. There are certain things that are set out. For instance, the balconies, right? We know we have to have that. We know we are going to be a flat roof because we have a 35-foot height limit by zoning. So we will be building within that as of right. We are not seeking any significant zoning changes at all on this development. We're developing as of right. So that is fixed. And Virginia Housing, as part of our tax credit reservation, is going to require us to be 50% brick in our exterior cladding. So which is all good news. But how far we go with on a sliding scale of traditional here and contemporary here, we are going to be working on options to present to the community and other stakeholders, including RRHA and the city, to get their input on where you fit within that sliding line. There's ways to detail this with windows and various other treatments to the facade to bridge that between traditional and contemporary. Next slide. Contracting, hiring, training, and reporting. These are not afterthoughts. These are key. We know that the community will be judging us. RRHA, the board, will be judging us. The city will be judging us. And KBS has only been hired for this first phase. So they know that they need to deliver on these as well. So we'll be working very collaboratively with RRHA to make sure we meet and exceed all the goals, everything from prevailing wage rates to making sure we're hiring local and maximizing DBE and Section 3 participation, including workforce training that is more than just construction training. We know not every resident is going to want to be involved in the building trades, trying to come up with some other options as well. Next slide. So that was really our presentation of what the project is so far. And then we went into things we want community input on. Next slide. The project name is not something that we have any foregone conclusion on. Ms. Hampton points out there is been a good process around a survey, but that's something we are interested in working on the project name and logo branding with the community. Some of those exterior building facade treatments are certainly things we're looking for input on. The mural subject will be something that we do even post closing and start of construction, really doing some really good engagement sessions around that. And then the details of some of those training policies are going to be very important to get input from residents on the type of training that's a round peg for advancing careers they want to go into. So that's going to be important. And some of the details of amenity programming, whether it's site or things to do in that, things we could be doing in that community room. For instance, we got a suggestion for a donation station where residents could donate books or clothes or things like that for their the other residents in the building. So that was, I thought, a really nice suggestion. So final slide is my contact information. So you guys all have that to contact me. I know you have a big agenda tonight and other things you want to talk about, but happy to take questions.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate your presentation. Any of the commissioners around the table have any comments for Josh or any questions for Josh?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, please.
So I want to just add that we, Chair Jackson and I and Josh, President of RRHA, who's made the presentation, we gave this presentation to Mayor Avula and some of his small stop team last week. And they believe that this is a good faith effort to show the community what we will do when we start with the formal demolition and rebuilding of Gilpin. And so we believe that this can be a model. We can't do everything that we would do when we do all the 10 phases, but we believe this is a good first step to show the residents what we can do and make a demonstrative effort, particularly around workforce development, having residents input. And they said, yeah, this is a good thing because it's a great way to build trust and to show that if we can do it right here, then we can do it right with a larger piece. So we got great feedback from Mayor Avula and Sharon Ebert and the rest of them when Chair Jackson, I, and Josh presented last week.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Commissioner Johnson, did you have any comments at all?
No, Mr. Chair. I think
Okay,
that was fine. That was absolutely fine. Thank you.
good. Commissioner Jackson?
No, sir, I don't have any comments. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I want to thank Josh for your ability to be so clear with this Gilpin community about the benefits for the people, and that you care not to just talk the talk, but to walk the walk. And that's what we really need in our community nowadays, accountability. And I think that was stressed throughout, as well as responsibility to the stakeholders. So I'm glad that you're going to be, putting yourself out there as the one, hey, the buck stops here. And we need that in our community nowadays. The state-of-the-art affordable housing, I like that. Those affordable housing units and deeply affordable, and with and just the fact that they're 30% in the income level, and your MBE participation side of it. Only thing I wanted to add to that, and I've seen this, and you presented this to me as well as Chair Jackson, and when I went through it, looking at it this time, I saw the murals that you had. And I think maybe you might, as you do those murals, somewhere alongside those, maybe not as much murals, but something about some inspirational words from African-American leaders to inspire and uplift, something of that nature along the walls too. Just put something on the walls to help uplift the community, that when a young boy walks by or a young girl walks by, she can might read that right on and says, oh yeah, that's so-and-so wrote that, and that's inspiring to me. But I know that the murals are fine, but I think we just need to see some uplifting words or whatever too. So just keep that in mind. Anybody with anything else? Commissioner Elliott?
Nothing for me. Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on. Ms. Hampton, you're still with us on this, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chair. Can you hear me? Just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thanks, Mr. Collin and Ms. Williams, for your attendance. You can certainly stay if your schedules permit and you so choose, but if not, we will move down the agenda and understand that you may drop off the call. So
Thank
thank
you
you so much. Next up would be about Creighton Court. And if you go to page 2 of your report, just the key highlights. One is for March, that 1.2, the infrastructure there is 50% complete. And there are only 71 households that are on site at Creighton. We are looking to complete a total relocation by September 30th. That's what we are working hard to achieve. We have started demolition of 16 vacant buildings. And when I say we have started, none of the buildings have come down, but we're close. We have to have the asbestos crew in. We've put up the fencing. We're working with Dominion Energy to uncouple or cut off the utilities, and then the city will come in and cut off any gas or anything that's there. So we are moving with those 16 buildings to start. They're vacant. All households, all families or residents are out, and we will be working to take those buildings down, and we keep moving to the next phase of demolition. With phase B, just a thing to note, the housing assistance payment contract was signed yesterday by the CEO. And so lease up will begin. They are doing inspections now. RRHA is doing those inspections. One other thing for phase C, as phase B is finishing up and lease up is started, is that application for LIHTC tax credits was submitted successfully on March 12th, and you see the anticipated cost of phase C is $24 million. So that's in your report. You heard from Gilpin, so I'm not going to say anything about Gilpin. Would like to talk about um, Mosby Court South, just to let you know. We had two great meetings. We're making progress on the creation of the Tenant Bill of Rights, and hopefully that will come to you for this board in June once Mr. Nesmith so approves it. We'll be continue to work with the Tenant Council there at Mosby Court South and the residents, and we have another meeting coming up this month with them. We also have another meeting on a monthly basis in Creighton as we are winding down relocation there. So I wanted to note that. I'm not going to go much further. Mr. Nesmith, is there anything you wanted to add about Grace, or did you want me to move forward with that?
No, I have nothing more to add on that. Thank you.
Okay. So Grace, 400 East Grace, we continue to do all of the pre-development due diligence, moving closer and closer to the culmination of that. They have also submitted a 4% application for tax credits in January. They are waiting to hear, but they have heard, and we have heard, that the city of Richmond funded the 400 East Grace Street project $1.5 million in community development block grant funds. So the rest of the report is as written. I will stop there if there are no questions, and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Nesmith, who will share updates on Blackwell Hope 6 project.
Are there any questions from any of the commissioners? If not, Mr. Nesmith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the Blackwell Hope 6 project, we are, as the name has it, Hope 6, we are hopeful. And we got to do some prayer, and I ask all of you to pray with us. This is a project that's been hanging around prior to my arrival. It's probably been about 14 years now. We're, at least that's what the Maggie Walker Land Trust folks have told us, it's been stuck in Washington, D.C. And we're hopeful for the first time in 14 years that they did ask our RRHA to submit for the first time a comprehensive homeownership plan. We did so the end of last year. And since then, we have received 2 additional responses, and they have now asked us to submit, which we hope will be our final and last submission by the end of this week or next week. So we remain hopeful. They finally have acknowledged that there's a possibility. So we remain hopeful, and I'm not. I don't. And this project will be, this will be tied to our home ownership strategy that we'll be announcing later. That's it. Any questions?
Steve, you're coming in and out. We can't hear you out here.
Yeah, Parker, this is Sherelle Hampton. I had one further comment just to make about one of our projects. I just wanted to note if I may. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit there. Is that Miss Hampton speaking now? Or is it Steve still?
No, this is Sherelle, sir.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, it's going in and out, but go ahead and speak. Say what you were saying then, Sherelle. Thank you.
All righty, and thank you. It's just in addition to my report on Mosby, I
Uh-huh.
just wanted to share that we also had a very good meeting on 3/26 with the entire RTO and
Oh.
the developer, the Richmond Group,
Mhm.
presented updates on the Mosby Court South project. And
Mm.
we'll continue to have those. And we also had a resident meeting with the tenant council and residents on March 19th as well. So
Mm.
we will continue to keep them updated and have engagement meetings with them. Thank you, Chair Parker.
Thank you. I guess at this point in time, we're if you're complete, Steve, we're going to
Excuse me,
Pauline.
Bring it close here. Use this.
Is that where we are
I
now?
had a question for Mr. Nestor.
Please. Yes.
Explain what you said again of at the end of Mrs. Hampton's presentation about Mosby, and then you went on to do a little summary. 'Cause
No, I didn't have any comments on Mosby. I commented only on the Hope 6 Blackwell.
okay.
Yeah.
So is are the projects are going to be similar to that in far as structure, but I know there's going to be some differences because each has their own DNA.
Good question, Commissioner Pittsford. So again, if we remain hopeful, if HUD in Washington, D.C. approves the project, we're not sure what the structure of those homes that will be built there. We have to take in consideration that which is already in the neighborhood, those homes. Of course, you know, the city is going through the process of what's called code refresh, where they're looking at zoning and what's going to be there. I've had some conversations with the city agency about not doing traditional construction. What does that mean? That means in the form of maybe modular, which you can speed up construction time, and that maybe that can be done within a year or 6 to 8 months. And so we're going to be looking, having a conversation once it's approved about the size, um, square footage, all of that. We'll be having a conversation with the city and the zoning and what we can do both to try to speed up construction and to make sure it's consistent. One of the things that has been public, and I believe it too, that Mayor Rula has said is that, a lot of the buildings and what has been built in the city has just been for just, single family housing. He said, and I think most people believe that we're going to have to look at some different ways, looking at some other structures to get more density. So again, we'll be in a conversation with the city to figure out what it will look like.
Is that it, Commissioner Pitchford?
Hopefully, all of the apartments won't look like little boxes. It will fit the neighborhood in which it's in. Has some bay windows and things of that nature. So you did answer that question. And far as Creighton, um, are you engaging the residents and how they're feeling about all of that
Yes.
for the new project?
Yes, Commissioner, we have monthly meetings and we'll continue those meetings throughout this relocation. And we've been normally having meetings if not every month, every other month or every quarter. But we invite those Creighton residents that have moved, we invite them back to the meeting. So those that have now moved to the new units, we always let them know that they are welcome to attend, and several do, and we get thoughts and input from them as well.
And the last question is about the elderly. Sometimes they aren't engaged as the young people, like going to meetings and everything. And sometimes their children have kind of taken over the apartment, but not active in the meetings. So how are we engaging with resident services to reach out maybe to those population, to that population?
Yeah, so we will also work not only with resident services, but we work with our communication department. So we send emails, we do texts to their telephones. There is also door-to-door flyering that's being done whenever we're having a meeting. We do it at least 2, 3 times, so they will have the word. We flyer twice, and then we do all of the emails and texts to all residents. And then we let them know that there's going to be another meeting come the next month when we're in the current meeting. So we make sure they know, and we have good attendance at Creighton that come
Okay.
to the meetings.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
And that's all my questions. I'm turning it back to our chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner.
Madam Chair, I also want to add that we've been meeting with President Newbill and walking her through what is contemplated. And what she has asked us to do is to broaden our outreach, not just the residents, but stakeholders in the Creighton area. And I believe she said, Cheryl, she was going to get us some names, right, of some of the other stakeholders that are in the Creighton area, and so that we include them. Do you recall that? No. Okay, that's okay. She said that.
And Steve, also, and I guess Cheryl can say also with this, you're getting ready to hand out some more keys pretty soon, aren't you, in Creighton?
Yes, sir. That's why we're excited about leasing up for Phase B. So we hope between, it may be for June, but it could also be in May, earliest in May, that we would plan a get your key like we did previously. Yes, sir.
And I guess you will be involving Miss Fountain and her group to be a part of that process.
Oh, most definitely. We always work with our communication department as it relates to getting the word out, notifying our residents. We do that. We have resident services. They attend, along with public housing, all of our meetings that we have for any of, whether it's Creighton or whether it is Mosby Court South. They are there, and they also attend Gilpin.
Thank you so much. That's great news. Good news. Okay. I guess if there's nothing further in that area, I guess we will move to Miss Colleen.
I have one more. who is the owner of who would be owning those apartments at Creighton and Mosby?
Okay, so for Mosby Court, we have a joint ownership.
Mm-hmm.
The developer is the Richmond Group,
Mhm.
and RRDC is a special purpose entity. It's a part of that managing member entity. And at Creighton, the developer is the Community Builders. We call them TCB for short. And RDC and TCB have a ownership interest in the buildings.
Okay, but after all of they build and the tenants are moved in,
Yes,
will
ma'am.
RRHA own that, or will the developers or whoever they sell it to?
They're not selling it. They can't sell it because it's a ground lease.
Right.
So it is a joint ownership. They've created a special entity. So the developers operate and do all of that, but RRHA has a interest in that ownership interest and will have it in both projects.
Okay, because I want to make sure that the tenants understand if they have, accountability issues within the units, after they have moved in maybe a year or two, they know who to call and all of that.
Yes, the property manager for that building for Creighton is Nussbaum. That's their Nussbaum. That's the entity, long running local property management company here in Richmond.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. That's all. Back to you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Colleen, let's hear the DBE report that you prepared, please.
Good evening, Commissioner. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Commissioner Parker?
Uh, Somewhat. I'm straining, but I can hear. I guess everybody else can too. Maybe it's just me. That's
I don't know.
okay.
Oh, that's better. I think you can hear me now, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, commissioners and staff. Oh, the last report that you guys received was for the whole year of 2025. So I've gone back to doing my report based on the current fiscal year. So these numbers that you see in this report are from October 1st to the up to the day I ran the report, which was last week sometime. So, and as you can see, hopefully you've looked at the report, we are doing very well already. Our WBE business participation is at 18%. Our MBE participation is at 48%. And our section 3 is at 33%. So I think overall we're doing well. We've actually brought in a couple of new MBE partners with our vacancy reduction contracts. And so you will start to see that number increase exponentially. So we're still working at it, but I think we're getting there.
Thank you so much. Any questions or comments from the commissioners around the table?
Yes, I had a question.
Yes, Commissioner Pitchford.
Yes, the goals that you have said it for this year, what percentage of them have you kind of accomplished?
All of them.
That's great.
Yeah,
And
so
if you are, explain a little
yeah,
bit.
that's fine. Our WBE goal is 10%. We're at 18%. Our MBE goal is 30%. We're at 48%. And our Section 3 goal is 25%, and we're at 33%. So overall, we're doing very well, even with it only being a few months into this fiscal year. Well, we're first quarter, second quarter for our fiscal year. So we're doing pretty good, I think.
Is that your questions,
Yes,
Commissioner
last
Pitchford?
month. Yes.
Okay.
And you don't anticipate any gaps any gaps to hinder you or barriers on the project on getting the procurements completed?
No, ma'am. No. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I expect these numbers to start rising even more with the addition of new contractors that we've brought on and continue to try and bring on going forward. So there, nothing's stopping us.
Colleen, my question, if Commissioner Pitchford has answered her question yet, is it all of this local or what? Participation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is all local. I mean, one of them, I know one of our MBEs is out of Norfolk, but as far as I know, everybody else is within the surrounding areas, if not from Richmond themselves.
Mm-hmm. And the 5 that you're bringing on, the new contractors, the 5 new contractors, are they local participation also?
Yes, they are. All of
Okay,
them.
you know specifically about that. And the majority of that, is it women owned or MBE owned or Section 3?
Both, all three of the above.
Okay.
We actually brought on a couple of other minority businesses. We have a Korean company that is working with us now, and then we also have a Native American owned company that's working with us as well.
And the cleaning company be cleaning up the units once somebody moves out? Is that what that is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there a landscape one too, or what are the others? What trades are in the others?
The landscape, that contract's been out. That was solicited last year and was awarded. I think one of our, nope, I don't think either of those are MBE. I know they're Section 3, but they're not MBE companies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
I just had last one. This was to our CEO. Referring to
Is that Commissioner
the
Pitchford? Did you say something?
Yes, I just got one last thing.
No, it's
For our
fine.
CEO,
Please.
um, how are these wonderful projects adding to your portfolio, and and your goals?
Yes. So first, is that a two-part question? So it's adding to our overall portfolio, number one, in terms of us not just on the public housing side. I always remind folks that we're not just a public housing, we're a redevelopment authority as well. So with what we've been announcing recently on the real estate side, adds to what we do to advance to help increase affordable housing in the city, right? So if you look at our tax conduit bond program, you see the units that will be built. That adds to our portfolio in terms of our outcomes and what we do and what results. Also, second part of your, and also it adds to what we're, anytime we, do what we're supposed to do in terms of moving forward on more demolition and rehabilitation of on the public housing side, it adds to goals and objectives from the board. Because that's one of the things I'm supposed to do with the team, is to move forward as expeditiously as possible with demolishing and rehabilitating the big six, and also outside of that, what we do with the city overall in advancing affordable housing.
Thank you.
And also with Steve, you might mention that the goals that we're achieving here with Section 3 certainly help it with our HUD requirements.
Oh, absolutely. And if you've seen recently, we have, when Colleen has been reporting this, I think year over year, but particularly I think this year in particular, well, I say last year in 2025, I think we did an outstanding job of exceeding most of our stated goals as stated by the board month over month. I think that has been the case for the months in January to date. So again, I think that I know that we've been exceeding those HUD Section 3 and I should say the goals that this board set. Because remember, we've been not trying to broadcast it to everyone, but a year or so ago, a year and a half ago, we set our own for the first time,
right.
minority small business and women-owned goals. And we've been reaching those goals. So, I mean, that's a good thing for us internally. And also, as you said, we've been hitting the HUD Section 3 requirements as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Colleen. Is that the end of your report?
Yes, sir. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your help. I don't know if there's anything else on the agenda, Steve, that you know of. Any other comments? Any of the commissioners around the table online have any comments before we adjourn the meeting?
Yeah, did we approve, excuse me, did we approve all our minutes since we have a quorum? Do we have any minutes that need to be approved?
What is that again? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you too good.
We approved all of the minutes.
What was that, Steve?
Okay.
You asked, it was answered.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that all of our minutes were approved, because I think we might have missed, I don't know if we didn't have a quorum or something like that. Wanted to make sure all of our minutes were approved to help you out, Chair. Love you, Chair. But they said they were, so you don't really need to answer it.
Love you too, Chair, Commissioner. Yeah, I think I asked that.
If I can take the opportunity, because the chair of our board asked, I know we're going to talk about a little bit on the second Thursday. We do have that HUD mandated. It's virtual, but actually no, it's in person. I apologize. The in-person HUD mandated board training this Thursday. And it's at what time? 5:30. That's important. I just wanted to, as an administrative matter, just to make note of that. And tomorrow, if she hasn't sent it out, we're going to have the board retreat on May 2nd. Again, May 2nd. We changed that date to accommodate more board members to attend. So those are just two administrative.
Okay, thank you, Steve. And as Commissioner Pitchford mentioned just now, I think we asked about approving the minutes, but did they ever get approved, Patrick?
Yes, Commissioner.
For this meeting.
They were approved for tonight.
They were approved?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else before the board, before the real estate committee, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking your time out to be here, whether it's virtual or in person. And whenever you can make in person, make in person. And if you can't, it's certainly understandable, but we need your attendance at the meeting because it just helps so much more, and we can see your eyeballs too. But also it's just good to be there and be reflective and be able to ask good questions and not have to rely on other things that you might hear some other place or whatever. But if you're right there sitting around at the table, we can definitely have good conversation and even after the meeting. So if there's nothing else before the board, the meeting will be adjourned. Be careful going home. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.